everyone, so today I'm bringing you this no face of makeup because I'm actually going to do another get ready with me. This one has been super requested by quite a few people, and it's going to be kind of a colorful yet very wearable, everyday, springy makeup look, and it's going to be created using the new Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. Now if you're interested in knowing all of my thoughts and swatches and all of that about this palette, I did do a full review, so I'll go ahead and link that below. If you don't know, here's the palette. It is beautiful. We're going to use some of these colors. Over on this side, it's going to be really bright and springy. That's the plan. I love makeup. I have a lot of makeup. I have started doing more project pans. I'm doing a 17 by 17. I'll link it below. And I think it's really important to get use out of your makeup. Complete use. And I know that we all buy a lot, and it's kind of a joke, but it's also really not funny on YouTube. Like, I'll just never have to buy this again. You know, I have enough makeup to last me 75 lifetimes and stuff like that. And I think it's important that you do get use out of your makeup. And I have definitely fallen into it myself, where you're just buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. And it's like, oh, I love this palette. I used it for 4 whole days, and then I got a new palette, so then I used that one for 6 days, and then I got a new palette, and that one was for 5 days, and that was great. And then I got one, I only used it for 2 days, I didn't like that. So you just kind of, you have a lot, and that's awesome, but you don't use it. So I wanted to show y'all ways that you could use this palette for not just eyeshadow as well. So hopefully that'll be interesting. So let's just get into it. I am going to be using a lot of my 17 and 17 products, but not all of them. This is because I want to, instead of using some palettes, products I usually would, I want to get use out of this palette completely. So I'm going to use my Rimmel Scandaleyes in Nude. I thought I was just about to drop that palette and it was going to be gone forever, and it was just going to be like, cool, this video's over now. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to actually use it as an eyeshadow base. Now, I talk all the time about highly recommending primers. And I do. I think it's really important for your eyeshadow to stay on, to keep it nice, all of that. And you can use eyeliners as bases. And it works. You can use concealer as bases. I think you need a base, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I think it's really important. I'm just going to blend that out. I usually use a gray one, just because it's in my 17 and 17, but I think this will look better. You don't have, it's not like these products aren't pigmented on their own, but having a nude base or maybe even a white base, such as the really inexpensive NYX Milk. Whoa, guys, come back! I don't know why my iPad started doing that. I don't like it. The NYX Milk, this would be a great one too. It'll just help make your eyeshadows pop even more. Especially when you're trying to do a colorful look. And then I'm going to bring it into the inner corner and under the lash line as well. I find that bringing this under the lash line helps when I like smoke out the bottom lash line. It helps those stay, because I was doing that for a while and then all of that eyeshadow would just go away. It was like I never put it there in the first place, and that made me sad. Alright. So again, that's just the Rimmel Scandaleyes in Nude. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my inner rim as well to make my eyes look a little brighter and more open. Because in case you can't tell, I have very small eyes. I'm okay with it. Something I deal with. My friend's phone, you could like make it open with your eyeballs. You could just be like, hey, look at my eyes, and it would open. And every time I tried to do that, it would say, excuse me, your eyes aren't open. Excuse me, your eyes aren't. It was kind of embarrassing, but it's okay. I'm going to use my tapered blending brush from the brand Beauty Gauchis. I have no idea how to say that. I got it from my Ipsy bag. And I'm going to go into the shade Clementine, and we're going to put that in the crease and blend it out. So, here we go. Y'all can see. Look at this pigmentation. Now, I am going to do a warm tone, colorful look. I know warm tones are all the rage right now, guys, so hopefully y'all enjoy it. I think you can get a lot of looks out of this palette. I don't know, I feel like I've been watching a lot of anti-haul videos recently, and I feel like this palette's been mentioned in a lot of them, and you know, I'm not trying to force anybody to buy anything. Like, if you don't want it, you don't want it, and that's cool. But I can tell you, as someone who has a bunch of eyeshadow, I'll link my makeup collection video down below, and I'm just, y'all, just like sweeping it back and forth and trying to blend a little bit. I think this is really nice, and I'm really glad I have it. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? Like, look at how nicely that blends out. Oh, okay. So then I'm going to take my cute little, if I can find it. I always feel like I need to just like pull my brushes out. I'm going to take one of my Urban Decay brushes. Y'all know I'm obsessed with these. I made a whole video about it, and I'll list it below. This is the one from the Vice palette. The Vice 4. It doesn't really matter. Just one of these little brushes. And I'm going to go into the shade Star, which is this bright yellow. And I'm going to put it on the lid. Just like this. So it's going to be kind of a sunset-y eye. Excuse me, I'm making a video down here. Or up here. I hope y'all can't hear that. But if you can, I'm sorry. My maintenance workshop is right below. And I already was filming late because I had to work at 5 this morning. And y'all, I crashed hard. This is my 3rd day in a row working at that. I think this week I've gotten like, look at that, like 20, maybe 23 hours of sleep since Sunday, and today is Friday. But you know, that's what happens. I have 3 jobs, and I do YouTube, and I'm a master's student. Not complaining, but I'm sleepy. So, y'all can see the pigmentation of this Star shade is insane. And I don't have any fallout at all. Fallout isn't a big deal to me. That's why I always put my eyeshadow on first. Look at that. I think that's pretty. Big fan. But if it is a big deal to you, I'm going to use this Mica Beauty Cosmetics angled brush. I don't love this one. It's a little too dense. Mica Beauty is a loose. They have all loose products. It's kind of dense for packed ones. I'm going to go into the shade Meow and put it in my outer corner. It's pretty, but I think it's not quite dark enough, so I'm going to mix it with Dope. So I'm just going to go back and forth. Now y'all can't even see. These 2 shadows just went back and forth in there. Yeah, that's what I want. Can y'all see how pretty that is? You know, I heard a lot of people saying like, oh, when I heard pastel, I was thinking like pastels and Easter. Y'all think this is not an Easter looking eyeball? Even though, like I mentioned in the video, or my full review, I'm not using this brush. This brush is making me mad. Where's my other one? This one's from Nicki K. This one's cheap. It's like, yeah, $4. I like it better. And I'm, again, Meow and Dope. Just, I did mention this in the video, but she specifically said this was not pastel like Easter. It was pastel like art class. Like those like oil pastels. This is not blending very well. Maybe it's because I'm using 2 different shades. I don't know. Come on. Blend. There we go. You know, I feel like especially with pastels, you've got to blend. Or really not just pastel. When you're doing colorful eyeshadow, you got to make sure it's blended out well. Look at that. I'm a fan. I might put some more orange. So I'm going back into those 2 and just doing it on the other eye. Obviously, I like my eyeballs to match. Oh. There's just so much pigmentation in these shades. Again, still absolutely no fallout. And I just put that on the outer corner. That's pretty much how I do my eyeshadow every day. I'm going to put a little more orange. Don't you think it needs a little more orange? I think it does. Back with that tapered blush, Clementine, right here. And I'm going to go around the outside. And just put a little bit more in there. Why not? I love this look. I think this is super cute. Don't y'all love the faces I make when I do eyeshadow? So there we go. That's really pretty. I'm a big fan. I don't want to overdo it because I did say it was going to be wearable. And I feel like this is not too colorful where it's like, it's not wearable. I feel like this is pretty wearable. At least it is in my book. I'm going to go into the shade Skull, throw it up here on my brow bone. This is super pigmented. It can be very stark, and I do highly recommend blending. Now, Skull is obviously also a good choice for doing the lower lash, the inner corner. But if y'all watch me, then y'all know I need a very highlighted, bright inner corner because that's what I like. So I'm going to go in with this 17 by 17 product. It's the Too Faced Bronze and Beautiful palette, and I'm going to use the shade Powdered Sun, which is kind of just a gold, and I'm going to throw it in the inner corner. Again, if you can use Skull, by all means, but it's just a personal preference thing. I like a very shimmery outer corner, and this entire palette is matte. A matte outer corner, well, I don't know how much more wearable it is really, but you could say that. Alrighty. It is a little, I mean, there's a little bit of kick up in the pans. You can see like right there. But again, I have none under my eyes at all. No fallout. So, I mean, it's hard to complain, right, guys? There we go. I like it. So then I'm going to take, oh, this is a crown brush. It's like this dual-sided brush. I love it. I'm going to take some Clementine, well, yeah, I guess Clementine. Maybe I'm not. I'm just going to take my little Luxie Beauty number 221 flat definer brush. Just any of these kind of flat brushes. And I'm going to go into the shade Doom, which is that bright blue. And I'm going to throw it under my lash line. You could mix Dope and Meow. That's probably what we should do. Y'all know I just love color so much. I said it was going to be wearable. So we're going to mix Dope and Meow again. And we're going to just go under this lash line. It's so pretty. I feel like since Kat Von D is an artist, it's really cool that her formulation of eyeshadow is really easy to mix. I just think that's really neat. And she says that all the time. See, I just feel like it kind of clearly defines the look. That you can mix her stuff. And she's right, obviously. But it kind of makes like it even more unique. And it's like, okay, I have this palette of 8 shadows, but really, there are so many combinations you can make with said 8 shadows. I love Kat Von D's eyeshadows. They're my favorite. And considering how many eyeshadow palettes I have, I feel like that's saying a lot. So there you go. That's just the eyeshadow. So now we're going to put on some eyebrows. And I'm going to use my cute little travel smudger brush from Smashbox Cosmetics. Go into my super janky looking Coastal Scents quad. This is again another 17 and 17 product. I'm going to try not to overdo them. Some days, this is like a pretty decently pigmented eyeshadow. And if I'm not paying really close attention, it's very easy to overdo it. And for it to be like, hey girl, you got cartoon eyebrows on. That's what I call them when they're just like way overdone. You can obviously also put a brow wax in it. So this is just how I've been doing my brows recently. I think I have relatively decent brows on their own. So I don't feel the need to like fill in a ton or really create the shape or anything. I just use what's there. And we go with it. This, I've been using the mirror this whole time as well. Obviously, you probably noticed that. And I think it's a really nice mirror. You can see your whole eyes. So there we go. It's a little extreme. I feel like every time, I'm really ready to use this up so I don't have to use that brow shadow anymore. Alright, so next we're going to do eyeliner. You can opt out of eyeliner if you know it would make it even more wearable in daytime, but I need some eyeliner, y'all. I made a video the other day without any and I hated it. This is the Rimmel Scandaleyes in brown. These do last very well, but this one I lost the cap and I put a different cap on and it's really dry, so I just warm it up on my hand before it goes on my eyes, and you're going to see it's going to tug probably. I just want to use it up. Because again, I have a lot and I want to make sure I'm using what I have. Because it's kind of, and it has, this whole project pan, it's helped me not to buy, like some things that are coming out right now, such as, I haven't bought a highlighter all year, and I feel like this has been the year of the highlighter. But I haven't bought one because I'm going through that powdered sun highlighter. And there we go. So you could stop here. I like to set my eyeliner with powder because I hate this little gap you get. I always get it. I don't know why. I hate that. It drives me insane. So I'm going to set again with that same brown powder. I'm just showing y'all sneak peeks of all of my project pan, but whatever. And I feel like you can kind of soften this line a little bit if you would like. And again, more daytime, more wearable. That's the goal of today's look. Because you can make a very wearable look with this eyeshadow palette. And y'all know me. Well, if you've watched me for a while, then you probably know. I mean, I'm all about the color and the pizzazz. So I'm just going to do it with this eye too, obviously. So, I haven't done, you know, I think it's important to make some daytime looks. And these colors just, to me, are very springtime. Love it. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with some mascara. That's another thing. I'm really bad about forgetting to put on my mascara. I feel like mascara is so many people's like #1. I'm going to use this Milk Makeup Ubame mascara and the Benefit Their Real Primer. Not in that order, in the other order. I feel like there are so many people that, this is the Benefit one, that are obsessed with mascara. And they're like, can't do anything without mascara. And I'm just like, that's one of the things I forget to put on all the time. Now, I do like it better with mascara. Because I'll look in the mirror and be like, wait a minute, I'm missing something. You know, like, that's just prettier. It looks more complete. But, you know, what do I know? I'm not a cosmetologist. I've done makeup on other people. I definitely would. Not as my full-time job, just because it's not my, I love makeup, but it's not like my driving force and passion. And again, Milk Makeup Ubame. This is a really dry mascara. It's got a weird, funky little wand. Because y'all know, if you've watched probably even one of my other videos, my driving passion, the thing I love most in this world is, well, besides like Jesus and my family and my dogs, which are my family, is science. Love science. I can't make a video without talking about science. I'm sorry. I feel like some people are like, girl, we get it, you're a scientist, get over it. But I can't. I love it. It makes me happy. There we go. So, that's the end of the eyes. Now I'm going to do face. And again, I'm going to incorporate this shadow into my, this palette into my face. I'm using the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I'm going to have to apply it really jankily because I'm almost out. But I'm not all the way out. I'm not about just throwing things away because it's like, oh, I'm almost out of it. No, girl. We're going to get every last drop of this product out. If you don't have one of those fancy makeup spatulas, like I don't, I'd like one, but I don't have one. This is the bottom of a brush. That's right. I'm sitting here talking about not wanting to buy like a what? It's just a few dollars. I'm using a $38 eyeshadow palette, but you know, priorities. So, I'm just gonna blend it in. This is my beauty blender. It's really on its last legs. I need to get a new one of these. I feel like, you know, you love a beauty blender and you don't want to be without it, but you also don't want to buy a new one. Because $20 is $20. Like that's not like, oh yeah, just a few dollars. I think I'm gonna try the Real Techniques one. Because I also really desperately need a powder brush. And because this BH Cosmetics one, you're all gonna see, I'm gonna use it. It's gonna shed. And I think I might wait till Ulta does like buy one get one or some sort of deal with Real Techniques, and I'll get the Miracle Complexion Sponge. I've heard that some people love the diamond one and some people hate it. I know the orange is the original, obviously. I've heard the orange and pink one is crap. So I think I'm gonna get the orange. If you have a preference, if you have tried it and have a suggestion, let me know. So there we go. That blended out pretty nicely. Coverage is pretty decent. I'm having some skin issues. I feel like this is gonna sound obnoxious. I have pretty decent skin. I mean, you just saw it with no makeup on. You've seen my skin, but I feel like, so I feel bad complaining about it. This is a e.l.f. travel crease brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Skull and bring it straight down my nose. It looks a little powdery, so I'm gonna just blend it with my finger. There we go. And then I'm gonna put it, and that's what I'm gonna set my under eye concealer with. But, you know, I mean, I still get self-conscious when I have some blemishes because it's not something I usually have. Again, I realize that sounds really obnoxious because there are some people that really struggle with their skin, and I'm very sorry for that. It's not a struggle I personally have. I struggle with sleep and with science and with doing too much. But I love it. You know, wouldn't change it. There we go. This is the Revlon Age Defying Concealer. It's super close to being gone, but it's hanging in there. I have a pimple right in there. Like right in this little nose crease. Who gets nose crease pimples? I hate them. They're gross. All pimples are gross. Blemishes, excuse me. Y'all know I don't like that word. Or I don't not like it. I just don't use it. So I'm gonna blend out these dark circles, which again, are not super dark by some people. Some people's standard, but they're pretty noticeable for me. Because, you know, 23 hours of sleep in 5 nights is not so good. That includes naps during the day, of course. Because I've had to take a couple of those, just like a little quick hour power nap. Because you gotta do what you gotta do, guys. You know, working hard just kind of sucks, but it's also kind of wonderful. And you know they always say idle hands are the devil's playthings. I think that might be a really southern saying. I don't know. Being born and raised in the South, it's hard to know what's southern and what's not. Because it's just normal. There we go. So that's the base done. But you know, that just sounds kind of southern-y, doesn't it? I'm going to use my Luxie Beauty Blush Brush 514. And my Body Shop powder. It's the Loose Face Powder number 02. I'm just going to set this down. This foundation lasts. I didn't put on primer. Oops. Oh well. Can't do it now. This foundation lasts like 75 years though. But what I was saying about being in the South, it's where, you know, and it's not just a Southern thing. It's where you're born and raised. And so, you know, you pick up on colloquialisms and things. And so just like common phrases. And then you move somewhere else and you're like, wait a minute, y'all don't say that here? I just think that's really funny. I think that's cool that America has that. And I'm sure, you know, other countries do too. I just don't, I'm not as familiar with it because I don't live there. I might be moving because science. It's a big deal. Alrighty. And I just powdered so I can't cream contour. Cool. I get distracted, y'all. That's okay. We're gonna be more wearable. But I am going to do a kind of harsh contour because I'm going to use this shade, Dagger, because it is gray. And it is going to give us a real severe contour. But it's so blendable. Look at that. That's like, oh, yeah, me, I have some cheekbones. Yeah, what? You'd like some cheekbones? I have some of those. This is a very severe contour, this Dagger shade. But I just wanted to show y'all that y'all could use it in other ways. Not just on your eyeballs. It is a really nice transition shade, though. So there we go. Dagger. This brush I'm using is by Beauty Basics. I think it's a crown brush, but Beauty Basics is just the line. And it's their like angled contour brush. And it doesn't have as much give as a lot of other angled contour brushes. So it kind of stays better. Yeah, y'all. This is real severe. This is a lot more severe than what I normally do. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. It's for the video. It's for everyone's makeup knowledge. And I'm a little afraid to contour my nose with this. For y'all, I'm gonna do it. I don't want to look like an idiot in real life. Because as y'all probably know, I mean, things that show up on the camera don't really show up too bad in real life. And things that don't, I mean, it's kind of either way. So I just go down and then kind of taper off. You don't have to contour your nose if you don't want to, obviously. My nose is one of the things I'm slightly self-conscious about, if we're being totally honest, which that's kind of my prerogative on life, is to always be totally honest. It's just something I'm self-conscious about. I think it's a little wide. I'm not going to get like plastic surgery and fix it. Why would I do that when I can just buy makeup with that money instead? Duh. So, there's our contour. I'm going to use this Real Techniques powder brush again and just kind of blend, blend, blend. Because this is kind of scaring me, y'all. It's fine. It's severe. You know, maybe we tried it. And then I'm going to go into this shade Meow, which is the pinky shade. And I'm going to use that as blush. This blush brush is very dirty, and so it probably has some of my 17 by 17 blush on it. That's a really pretty blush. It's just kind of natural. It is a little hard to get your whole big brush in this because it's not made for face powder. It's made for eyeshadow brushes, but you can do it. Look at that. Don't y'all think that's pretty? And I just, you know, kind of blend it out. Yeah, I'm a fan. And then for highlighter, again, we don't have any shimmery shades in that palette, so I'm going to go back into that Powdered Sun shade. This is a BH Cosmetics highlighter brush. And just kind of sweep it up there. Pretend like I've got some cheekbones. There we go. And I'm gonna take this terrible BH Cosmetics brush. I'm gonna go into Snow Bunny and put it down the middle of my face. And go into Sun Bunny and bronze my neck and the perimeter. There we go. I was just going to use the same old like face stuff as I normally do for my 17 and 17, but I thought this would be more exciting. I don't know how I feel about this contour, y'all. It's kind of scary. Let me know. Let me know. Let's get, this is an Eco Tools powder brush. Let's just keep on blending. Eventually, it'll blend out. It is very blendable. I mean, you can't really complain. I think that's fine. I think I'm just being, and like I said, it is a little more severe in the camera than it is in real life. But it does look a little bit like I have on makeup, like I have on contour. There put a little more blush on. I like blush. So, then I'm going to take a nude gloss. I'm going to use the one from this little palette by Too Faced. But you can use whatever nude gloss you want. We're going to try this. So I'm going to take this nude gloss. Make sure what you're using is kind of sticky. And I'm going to just throw it on my lips. I don't really love this shade on its own. But we're not going to use it on its own today. Because again, I'm trying to show y'all many uses for this little cute eyeshadow palette that I love. So now we're going to take your finger, go back into that Meow shade. Get a bunch on your finger. And kind of tap in to that gloss. Now, this is not the most severe lip gloss, but it does just give it a little bit of purple. Isn't that pretty? I love doing that. Make sure if you're going to go back in, you wipe off your finger so you don't end up getting a bunch of lip gloss in your eyeshadow. That's never a good thing. You don't want to ruin your palette. I think I got a little dope on my cheek. And just the purple. Yeah, I got a little bit of that. That's okay. So there's the overall look. I think it's very springtime. I think it's pretty wearable. Here, I'll take down my hair. There you go, that hides some of that contour too. So this is my look with the Pastel Goth palette. I tried to use it in lots of different ways. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all got some inspiration out of it. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Get Ready With Me videos, honestly. But I've gotten a lot of requests for them. So hopefully y'all like them. So that's all I have for you today. And I will see y'all real soon. Bye.